on what it means to be a witch in the 21st century, in 2021. I first wanted to share, because this comes up a lot, why I close my eyes when I speak. And I don't have any notes here. I'm not speaking from a script. I'm just kind of sharing from my heart. And when I close my eyes, you'll see my eyes roll back. And Angela Sumner, one of my fellow witches, pointed out that that's when we access the quantum. So when I roll my eyes back, I'm actually seeking like wisdom and information from this other space, this quantum field. So yeah, I thought I would just share that to begin with, because you will see me often when I'm speaking from this space, when I've opened circle, that I will close my eyes to get out of my mind, to get out of my stories, my lung stories, as Dale says, and just to speak clearly, speak truth, speak honest truth from my heart, sometimes from a channeled truth that comes through that I didn't even know. That's what being a channel is all about. It's like getting the ego out the way and then letting it come through without fear. So what is a witch? What is a witch? What does it mean to be a witch? I spoke briefly about how I came about this work. It was not planned. I didn't think that I was going to be a witch one day and practice magic and work with the elements. I very much went through a serious experience of burning and of complete disconnection and disembodiment due to trauma, drugs, alcohol, whatever. The whole process of initiation, a rite of passage back home to my own power, to my own truth. Growing up in an environment where that wasn't nurtured in the West, the indigenous way, the way with elements. I had wonderful parents that are naturally very spiritually inclined, whether they want to admit it or not. And so I think I always had it in me to want to connect to nature, to want to connect to people. My dad's a doctor. In his time, he would have been a healer, a witch doctor maybe, but that's what the conditions and the context was. I always wanted to help. I wanted to even do medicine at one point, and then I realized, well, actually, there is spirit medicine, there's healing that takes place on a spiritual soul level. And my spirit was very lost, and it was through these practices, through these rituals, through this trust in something greater than myself that I really began to see transformation. Because our healing doesn't happen just on a physical level or a mental level. It's very much a soul's journey, a journey of going through the deaths, through the heartbreaks, through the pain. I think a big initiation for me was meeting my teachers, the elders, the wise women. When I moved to New York and did my apprenticeship with Susan Weed, I really experienced fear of this powerful shaman, of this teacher that was going to now mirror back all the crap that I was not willing to see. It's kind of like the ego death. It's the death of all of these conditions, particularly for women. For me, it was like, I wanted to be the teacher's pet. I wanted her to like me. And the woman just fucking screamed at me on the first day and embarrassed me in front of everyone. And I processed that like nice girl crap that was really holding me back and also putting me in situations where I was being manipulated, because I had my boundaries violated. And then as I got older, it continued to happen until I really faced these wounds, faced these traumas. So the witch starts to regain her power through seeing other powerful women, other powerful teachers, through going on these pilgrimages, these retreats, these workshops where we discover magic, our connection to something divine. Like, I started seeing numbers very young. I started having these synchronistic experiences, and each time these synchronicities happened, it would cement the truth. It would make me believe. So magic and witchcraft and all these things, the key is trust. It's like, if you don't believe, you will not see. And so the more I trusted, the more I witnessed, the more I experienced, the more power I gained, the more understanding I had. And then the intention is always the guiding post. Why am I doing this? When you play with magic from a place of, wanting to do something on others. I actually got given my wand, and I remember the rule of 3. You don't cast spells out, because you get them back 3 times. And so I also had experiences of like love spells or wanting somebody and then getting myself into a very dangerous situation. So my vow is to always work from the heart, to only invoke or evoke things that are for myself, not for others. I can protect my family, and I do with certain weaving spells that I've learned that keep them safe. I definitely have my potions and my elements that I use when I open circle, and that I honor on my altar. But yeah, it's very much a journey, it's a journey of discovery. It's a journey of trusting, of surrendering, of listening, of listening to that inner voice, that intuition, that inner tuition. And sometimes it takes deception and betrayal to activate the trust in our own intuition. And that was very much my big wake-up call, was having a completely miraculous interaction with a woman who was actually my ex's ex. It would seem impossible that I managed to end up in an apartment with this lady, but of course I needed it to happen so that I could be reflected back my truth, so I could learn to trust myself and not be gaslit by even those closest to me, even those that loved me and do love me. And it's tough, and it sometimes feels like a lonely road to start stepping and activating your power. And that's why the witch is so feared, because she is fucking fearless. You've got to be fearless to stand in your truth in a world that is still burning witches, that is still subconsciously censoring and containing us from really expressing all that we are. And as I put in my last video, the fear of witches comes from a misunderstanding of what it is that we're here to do, of the healing that we're providing, of the reclaiming of these rituals, these celebrations, these ceremonies that were very much suppressed quite abusively by a other religious dogma or power or patriarchy, whatever you want to call it. And with that oppression and suppression came a lot of genuine witch wounds, where women didn't feel safe now to start activating their magic, to tap into their psychic powers. And I don't want to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, but it's no joke, the stuff that has gone on in the psychic realm. And you will know that I am very eager to protect my psychic space. I made this shield with a group of witches. I carry medicine. I collect feathers from the winged ones. I have stones from my teacher's land that I carry with me. And all of these items have very, very serious meaning in my life. And yeah, I feel the presence of these elements. I feel the connectedness to the wind, to the breath, to the fire. I'm always working with fire because I trust in the burning of the layers that hold me back from my rebirth. This is a spiral. The witch knows that I am always going to go through these rites of passage, and now I have tools to support me in that journey. And that's what my work is all about. I'm here to share the tools that have helped me to journey through some very challenging times, with the trust that there is something greater out there that has my back. And I've felt that support. I've felt that magic, that it's like a surrender into the great void, into the great abyss. And I mean, people think I'm crazy, and that's the other thing. Like, the witch learns that not everyone's going to understand this journey. Not everyone chooses to walk this road. And to continue to stand in my power and know my core, my center, is such a place of freedom, because I'm not afraid to be judged anymore, to be doubted, because I know my truth. And even if family or friends listen to this and they question me, that even has begun to fall away, because when you sit in the presence of somebody who really knows themselves, who speaks from a genuinely grounded place, the doubt dissipates, because you can't doubt love, you can't doubt someone's expression of truth. And so, yeah, it sometimes can be a lonely road. It's necessary to isolate, to go through, reconnecting to your body, reconnecting to your soul's purpose, your desires, your dreams. I very much look to my dreams for information. I have a dream journal. I've gone back and looked at how my life has been mapped out sometimes in my dreams. I get answers from my dreams. So there's all these very beautiful ways to connect to the witch, connect to this archetype. I was just in the mountain collecting sage, honoring, the smoke, the invoking of my guides, my angelic beings that help me to walk this road with protection and with love. And I know that I am surrounded in that love, because my life is a mirror to that. So yeah, it'll come with backlash, and that's part of the journey of this work. And to know that you're safe, and that ultimately when things are birthed from love, then there is no fear to be had. So yeah,